Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. But yeah, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? So I have been very involved in Minecraft and trying to get like everything else like fixed for me. Fuck. No, my camera. No, my fucking camera. No, please don't fuck. Please don't fuck me up. Also, this is a goddamn giant ass jug. Look at this shit. It's ginormous. Shout out to this giant ass jug, man. I really appreciate you. You are a jug made for men, only for men, by men, for men. And yeah. So, pretty much what I'm talking about is just not really anything that I can think of entirely, but it is something that is a thing though, right? So I just did a video on incels and how like they hate any form of self, not affirmation, but I guess self acceptance or self accountability. There you go. They hate that shit, and they do because it's easier to hate women and blame society for your lack of performances. It's like if I wanted to be a basketball player, right? And then like instead of working on the lacking skills I have or like trying to improve on the skills I am good at, I instead go straight forward and blame everybody else who's good at the said basketball game that I'm not. You know what I mean? That's how incels take it. And yeah, that was basically what the video was about. It was pretty cool, pretty poggers, and I'm gonna drop it whenever I want to drop it. Yeah, what's up guys? This is Escaping Paradise. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the podcast. How you guys doing? Ate a bunch of plantains. There's nothing in here but a banana. Pretty good. And I've been watching a lot of content. It's making me realize, oh wait a minute, maybe not only everything is political, but how political it is completely varies, and your lack of trying to show your political prowess would kind of sort of imply what you are leaning towards one or the other. You know what I mean? Because obviously there are like different sides of the spectrum. There's right, center, left, to center, third. But like no matter what you say, how you say it, the words you say it, how you present yourself, how you even do anything in general, all political. Like for example, video games, right? So there are gamers. There are like tons of gamers. Like decent chunk of gamers. Gamers are pretty disgusting creatures who they go like, oh, I don't want any politics in my video games. Oh my god, it's so gross. Why the fuck would I want politics in my goddamn video games? That is disgusting. Now, what do they mean with politics? Do they mean like presidents in the game or acts? And what do they mean? They usually mean either like any person who isn't what they are in particular. That's basically what politics in video games mean. Even though that makes no sense at all, because all games are art and art is political, because everything is like saying that is a really strong indicator into which way they're leaning this and the third on that specific issue and regarding to but you want me to the gaming apparatus, right? That's very interesting. And I do find one thing interesting though, like as well, is that the whole video game craze in itself is along the lines of, how do I explain this? So way back in the 80s, where it was so fun, way back in the 80s where there was a decent craze about video game, right? Like the 80s, they just blame everything for video games, like this, like this fucking whatever fucking violent crime spree, whatever happened, like, oh, those goddamn video games caused like crime sprees, video games. And they got some fucking husband beat a wife. Oh god, he plays video games. Video games. But in reality, it wasn't neither or of those options. It just seems like video games would cause violence because video games are violent, right? But if you think about it for longer than 2 seconds, you look deeper than the surface, you will then begin to realize that, oh wait, it's not because the video games are violent that people become violent. It's that violent people tend to skew towards violent video games because, they're violent people. So, like, of course, a school shooter would love a shooting game because they love shooting. Not because the game made them a shooter, but because they're inclined to buy it in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, Unless you're like literally, that can literally go for everything, right? That can go for like catching the gay, right? You just like you watch enough gay television, you hang around with gay people, you're just instantly gay. Like that can be like the same category there. Or with the black, you're catching the black, hanging around enough black people, you start being black. I mean, like it's not, no, that right there, just no. But the thing is, like a lot of the, I want to say reactionary, I guess. Yeah, I guess reactionary would be the word. A lot of that would regard around the fact that hold on. Like it's lagging still. Damn, I gotta check. God damn it. I feel like it revolves around the simple surface area, the surface area messaging, surface area optics that allows everything to go over your head because of the fact that, you know, hey, why even have to dig any deeper than you have to? Because that requires a lot of foresight and knowledge is very painful to acquire and even like apply in the real world. And all right, and what the fuck was I saying? I in the real life. Did I forget I was on a monologue there, dude. I was on a monologue, like prolific speech, like in the RNC, and I already forgot what I was gonna say. Goddamn Republicans, man. I'll tell you what. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, I feel like it's around the fact that, like, oh yeah. It's kind of hard to dive deeper into like surface level messaging. That's what I was saying. And because that knowledge, you know, people just believe what you say because you sound like you're saying it in good faith. And good faith usually means that you're saying it, that you believe what you're saying is just fully intentionally meant to be in a manner where you don't leave anything to be left desired. You don't like cross your hand behind your back when you say, oh, they're gonna get you. You know what I mean? And like that's not the ideal good faith. It's more on the lines of like saying a statement and then believing the statement wholeheartedly without any malintent behind it. That's basically what that means. The very debate bro term, I know, and if you don't watch any debate bros in general, it's gonna be like really a weird term. It's gonna sound like I'm like praising God or some shit, but I swear to God, it's not. Okay, I'm not praising God, not today, not ever actually. Because you know what? I'm gonna say it. Hot take. I'm saying, God's a little bitch, dude. Like, yeah, God's a bitch, man. Like, sue me all you want, brother. Like, when's the last time God has ever given me $1 million? When's the last time God has ever forgiven me for my student loans? When's the last time God has ever helped me in a time where I needed him the most? Oh yeah, God's a bitch. Pretty much. Hot take. Hot see me take. But yeah. Oh man. I'm still mad that like my PC don't come into like the mid-September. I'm frustrated because like I'm fearing I either like run out of money by then, which is almost impossible, or I just forget the PC comes, and by the time it comes, I would have already forgotten that I don't know. I'm in perpetual fear at a consistent basis, and it's at the point where I can't even like help myself anymore. That I'm just always afraid of everything because I'm just a little paranoid bitch. Like, you know, it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Like, at this point, what are you supposed to do, right? Like, you just supposed to do. Like, if you're already, like, stewing in your juices of paranoia and anxiety and fear, what the fuck else is there to do? Genuinely, dude. Holy fuck shit. Yes, hot take. Ice is bad. A very, very hot take. And you want me to. Okay, so I want to make bread. I want to make bread here. Because I feel like I want to get back on the bread making pattern. And also, I need to fill up my water bottle. So a little bit further into the show, I'll get the flour, I'll get the bowl, I'll get the yeast, I'll get the salt, mix them all together, whip it on up, make it to like a decent sized dough, and then put plastic wrap over it and call it a day. The end. You know what I mean? And yeah. Great question, Google. So I recently got back into Clannad. Clannad is romance anime I was telling you guys about. Very it's so like wholesome, big chungus, epic 100 lay pwned meme type of like vibes to it. But at the same time, it's not it's not negative enough that you notice all the bad shit that happens. Like if you look up Clannad right now, the eyes like this big, the nose are like this fucking small, and then it's always like, and the energies of the entire show is like dango, dango, dango. Like that's the energy throughout the entire show. And whenever like some like I think like the very first or second arc, the tragic shit that happens, like, oh yeah, so my sister was been in a coma for the past 3 years. How do you know about her? You know what I mean? How do you know about her? And clearly, obviously, he's a ghost. So, like, what the fuck? I mean, all right. But now it looks disgusting. Hey man, listen, that's literally all anime. It looks gross. Watch High School DxD. Do you think I don't know what that is? Do you think I'm like some noob or some shit? Like you know what? Fine, I'm gonna fuck you over. Watch Hanedore. Watch it. Go ahead, have fun. Go off, King. Oh, Minecraft? No. No, my computer can't handle that shit. Besides, the way I work with Minecraft, I'm a very how do I explain this? I'm a very masochistic person. So when I find myself in a corner, not a literal corner, but like in like the corner of like either focus on building a house or just digging for materials, I tend to spend 80 to 90% of my entire Minecraft career digging up materials and spend like the very, very small portion of that just building a house I'll be proud of. And like I want to change that because like building houses, not gonna lie, poggers. Kind of poggers. Yeah, that's the thing there. And I'm doing a vegan Minecraft playthrough, guys. Hot take. This is a very fun run. I have died twice already because I haven't enough food to eat. Even though zombie flesh, it could be considered vegan if the zombie consented. I guess I'm doing a vegan run. Not even on purpose. I just like didn't kill any animals yet. I mean, I could murder a cow right now. I mean, I could like take my sword, and give him swift, clean justice. Tell him to praise God while he meeting sweet blade and release of death. Oh. I'm losing my train of thought every single time I put up a video like this. Like I remember the first time I made my first video. I was like, "Hey, bro, yeah, you know, this is escaping paradise. My life, it isn't like the average life. My life is pretty fucked up. The last time I had fun in my life was when I was born. Because the moment I became conscious of my existence, I realized that it is all meaningless. It is all pointless, and to even try." Get in with society, not worth the energy to output. Basically, shit like that. I mean, like it was like very like doomer based bullshit like that, like very not epic big chungus memes and third. But now I feel like it's more on lines of just whatever the fuck, you know? I mean, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like I feel like no matter what you say, it's still not gonna So it's like, imagine waking up every day. This I'm trying to equivocate to like what I'm feeling like now. Imagine waking up every day, and then you have two things on the mind. Number one, I need to get this amount of money, and number two, I want to get that money by doing something I like. Okay, and if you can't achieve either one of those goals, then you're basically walking around with in mind. So therefore, you are a ghost essentially. You're just a ghost. It's a ghost. Like, would you fuck a ghost? I fuck a ghost instantly. No keyboard, Joe. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? God damn it, dude. I'm going down. Oh yeah, back to Clannad. Fuck, you got me off topic. Jesus Christ. So Clannad, From what I've watched so far, it's about 4 or 5 episodes. I made it all the way to like episode 29 before I dropped off 3 or 4 years ago. But from what it is, it's a very psychological romance drama. But I feel like it's romance first, and drama second, and psychological third. Mainly because the look it up on Reddit. Mainly because the premises of Clannad is who this couple. I don't know they're a couple until like 10, 20, maybe 30 episodes in. It's like the whole like haha he friendship that turns into a very sanctimonious loving relationship that then gets shattered by I'm not gonna break that spoiler down because like I'm gonna be honest, Clannad is kind of like okay. One thing, okay, hot take here, hot steamy take. When you're watching animated anime, right? They're all animated. You have to set aside all the cringe you're gonna experience because that cringe is just, it's not, if you don't like live with that cringe and you just cringe the entire time because there's like wholesome type of shit on the screen, then you're never gonna get through the show. You're never gonna see the plot for what it is. You're never gonna listen to any of the details because you're gonna be focused like, all right, let's go ahead and party. Oh my god, I'm gonna beat this girl tonight. You're gonna like be focused on that shit. I mean, like, it has its appeal. It is funny at times. Like you have to get over the cringe. Now that's basically, isn't that basically everything though? Because like if you truly think about it, everything is cringe. Reddit, look up on Reddit, and because of that fact, if you, so for example, furries, right? Furries. Oh, we all love furries. Furries are a very, very wonderful breed of people. Are they even people? Who knows? Do they identify as animal kin? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But the thing is, right? I mentioned this multiple times before. Reason we hate furries is because it is a foreign concept to us. It seems weird. Like, why would you not want to be you while expressing the ability of being you? You know what I mean? Like, it's just very odd to us. But I feel like another scalding take here. Watch anime that has big girl titties with cooters. Diversify your content, brother. Trust me, it'll save your life. What's the name? Only reason why I respect furries, right, is because like, have you ever imagined what life would be like as a alien or a dragon or a bear or a tiger or a dog or a cat or a mouse or whatever? Furries and animal can be like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna do it right now. They go wherever the fuck they need to go. They go on Craigslist. They go on PayPal. They just and they get that shit done, dude. Wash that shit? Nah, I'm good. I don't need to wash this. They get that shit done, and they are what they became to be. If you really think about it, furries are the ideal capitalists. Furries see what they want, they grab that shit, and they become that shit. The rest of us are cowards stuck within our human flesh-like cyborg skin. They're living out their lives the best they possibly can. We're making fun of them because they can express themselves. Like what are we doing here? Like what? Fuck it, I'm becoming furry right now, dude. Fuck it. Fuck it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, I said this too, like, the crazy part about it is too, like, there's like two sections of furries. Like, there's one, like, they clearly just never have intercourse. Just never do. Just strictly don't. And the other, that do. You know what I mean? And I mean, respect for furries. That's all I'm saying. Furry gang out. You know what I mean? Like, furry envy gang out. You know what I'm saying? I just, like, you know, keep your claws sharp. You know what I mean? Totally. Your Magi has returned. Okay, and I feel like, so then, because like, I guess I need to equivocate being a furry to like regular internet discussing more like you guys. So being a furry and then going back to your IRL life is like having a ridiculous online persona on Twitter or like Twitch or YouTube or some shit, and then taking that mask off and then going back to work as normal person. Like, hello, my name is Tom. How may I help you? And then at home, you're like, I'm a fucking badass wolf. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just very, very night and day. Like, I can be your angle or I can be deval. That's essentially what a furry is. Like, I can be your angle. That's the epithesis. No, that's not the word. That's the ideal furry mindset. Now again, this is coming from a person who has never been a furry. I was just, I just decided to browse and took a deep dive in my brain. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. They want to eat grass. They want to live in like basically Iron Man fursuits. Go at it, brother. Go at it. Drop 20K of your McDonald's check. Go on and do it, brother. Go on. Go off, King. Go off, King. I've dropped money on worse things. So do what you got to do, okay? Now, with the furry respect section out of the way, because respecting furries is pretty fun. I guess we're talking about Leafy a little bit, right? Because, like, what kind of bagel can fly? I don't want to know. I don't want to know at all. I'm actually not inclined to find out ever. Bagels are disgusting. So boom, roasted. Leafy is here, right? No, plain bagel. No, only I'm the person with the shitty jokes, okay? That's me. I have a book on shitty jokes. Only I can do that, all right? You can't get in here and say shitty jokes, all right, brother? That's me. You shine your head, it looks like it is shinier. Maybe. Who knows? So, Leafy is here. Got banned, right? And I got scared because... Actually, I should make this another segment. Let's go ahead and cheese this one out, boys. Wait, all right, would I record? Let me see. I have to do this then? Fuck me in the ass. So Leafy is here, got banned. Now, when he first got banned, I thought he got Dr. Disrespect because, like, I was watching, like, someone commented on his video, and then I looked, and then he was gone. I'm like, what? The Leafinator is gone? The Soul Crusher is gone? The epic Incel King is gone? The Lizard King is gone? What the fuck? With no reason? Okay, alright. Well, that's... Yikes. Well, this segment has been sponsored by... a lack of technology. Oh. But that was just... Throw the entire segment out the way. Anyway, yeah, so... Come to find out that, like, he just got... like 2 strikes about 2-3 months ago. I think it was in June. He got 2 strikes. I don't know what it was about, but it was like harassment strikes, right? And then apparently YouTube's policy, if you get 3 strikes within 3 months, your account is gonzo. And apparently that's what he fell in for. Now there's one bit of information that, like, someone I was watching kind of dropped in my head. It's like, wait a minute, we shouldn't be celebrating because he got banned of TOS. We should be celebrating because, you know, harassing people is bad. That's why. Because if you go by the TOS as you're grounding, you know, the whole debate I had with my Twitch channel about, like, a couple days ago, how, like, pedophilia was just abysmally wrong. You can't base that off legal, because someone could say, well, I mean, Japan has a 13-year-old age of consent law, so ha ha ha. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. You have to go off of morality or ethics, but I would say morality in this case, right? And hot take, harassment is bad. Therefore, Leafy getting banned because harassment is bad is very good. Now, does harassment is bad happen to coincide of YouTube's TOS in this specific instance, in this specific time frame, in this specific timeline? Sure it does, but that's not always the case, nor will it always will be, because, you know, YouTube's a very fickle company. Because where the money goes, that's where they go, right? Like, if you think about where the money goes, think about all those lovely, beautiful, voluptuous women on the Twitters, right? If an older man gave them, like, a reasonable amount of money, they would do some things. Obviously, that is true. Yes, of course, because they go where the money go. Not all women, but the women who would go for that specifically would. That's the correlation there. Should have thought of a better example? Yes, maybe, but that's besides the point. So, trusting YouTube to just follow its TOS at all times isn't always the best thing to go about, because, you know, up until this point, Keemstar is still running his show. He's still just going off at it, getting people just in the shit storms left and right because that's his thing to do. That's his thing. That's what we do, I guess. You know what I mean? We out here to make people's lives worse and miserable. And that's what Keemstar does. Oh fuck. I mean, I I am a man of strict scheduling. I truly am, but I did miss out on watching the RNC to start streaming. I'm gonna be honest, missing out on that is kind of making me want to rip my computer in half because the RNC was kind of fucking amazing, despite how terrifying it was. It was amazing because there, at one point, there was a Latina woman who was speaking about, you know, Trump. And I don't know if you guys know this now, but Trump doesn't have a very fun relationship with the people of the Hispanic descent. So it was a very, very interesting parallel going on there. And many more wild not fanatics, but I guess cinematography, I don't fucking know. But it was very epic. It's very wild, very cool, but at the same time, it was insane to think that this is the parallel to the Democratic National Convention. Holy shit. That was big epic cringe. It was too wholesome. But in regards to all the way back to Clannad, that's the whole thing with this shit started. So anyway, back to Clannad. So Clannad as a topic, like I told, so I got off on this whole tangent because I was talking about Clannad being a wholesome show and how wholesome shows tend to have like massive cringe and how massive cringe is kind of in everything, but we have to ignore it for certain things. Let's talk on the first subject, right? So for Clannad, again, the wholesome cringe is the fact that it is wholesome cringe. The worst case scenario that ever happened to Clannad, despite, you know, the awful dramatic, just downslope scenes along the lines of like, oh, whoops, he didn't get the girl he wanted, ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? It's like that type of bullshit, right? And sorry, I gotta check the shit again. God damn it, dude. Like this shit is like bugging me right now. Okay, so it seems like it's fun. Okay. Yeah, cause like, sorry. I was out of it. Okay, anyway, so point is, there is an alternate dimension of Clannad. Now I don't know what the fuck this alternate dimension is, right? But the dimension I mentioned before is along the lines of something where it's like, in a world where nothing exists but me and this girl, and I'm a robot body that the girl made out of parts that were, well, unknown to society. And, you know, she makes a robot and they communicate and they become friends in this alternate universe, and then they flash to the real world. And here they are, the same girl who grew up for some reason, they become a person who's immunocompromised and starting to have love interest of someone else who is also having a fractured family home. Now, I feel like one of the main appeals of Clannad is like how they tie everything together so well, despite how long they stretch everything out. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Like they happen to tie together the fact that the girl who had a coma was a ghost at the school that ended up telling the main characters information that then in turn they told the girl who was in the coma's ghost sister that private confidential information that the girl's sister only told the girl in the coma. It's like very odd. It's just, I love it. I love like psychological shit like that. I really do. It makes me feel like, you know, there's something more. Things, you know what I mean? I just love it, dude. I just do. I can't say I don't. I just do. I mean, I just fucking do, dude. Holy shit. Fucking do, you know what I mean? Holy fuck. Actually might get a job around, let me see, I think it's gonna be around like 6 p.m. to like 5. I think that's what its hours were. Again, assuming I get it, obviously. But like if I get that, bro, that's massive bank coming in, of course, obviously. But given the fact that it's borderline the most tedious shit in the world, it won't be the most like entertaining thing to do to obtain currency. But that being said, I do need to acquire more greenback, so I can't really complain at this matter. But still, it's just a thing that is a thing. Is a thing, which is a thing. Another anime I do want to talk about though. Another anime I do want to talk about as well is Arakawa Under the Bridge. Arakawa Under the Bridge. It has the one thing I've noticed about comedies in general, right, is like there are a bunch of jokes that don't land in general, and they have to not land because either it sets up the actual punchliners or like the real jokes, or it's somewhere along the lines of like, it's just too face value for you to like truly just immerse the message. Like for example, again, physical humor, right? In some cases, physical humor is kind of cool, but in other cases, or in most cases, it's not really like the ideal punchline you want to go after, right? It's not like if you like in stand-up comedy is worst example. I guess something I got up here. You're a stand-up comic and you're like, yeah, so my wife is being a bitch last night. And I told her, you want to yell and complain at me, you better get in that kitchen. And then like I ended off like smacking noise and insinuating I smacked her. Like, there wasn't a better example of physical humor, I know, but the point is this, right? Like, having that be the zinger of all zingers isn't going to necessarily land too well because, again, borderline all aspects of physical humor and comedy are just gone, just done. There's a drought of that shit, right? Thanks to America's Funniest Home Videos, because like, how can you continuously do that if there is no way to I guess come up with new content, right? Unless you're like trying to like chop someone's head off every single time you go on stage, like, yeah, today, whoosh, yeah, very funny. like if you're gonna do that, like this is different, man. I mean, but it's like if it's new material, if it's like new jokes you're making, and that's a very different aspect, very different avenue. I mean, like I feel like I mentioned multiple times before, but you can make a joke about borderline anything and everything. Probably can. And due to this being a thing and the ability of achieving said height of making fun of everything and anything, possibilities are endless. That being said, there are multiple things that go into comedy in itself, like delivery, timing, and just mood, right? You can't be Louis C.K. who just got caught, just jerking one off all the way in the subway, and then come back a year or 2, 3 years later and be like, so last time you saw me, I was a lonely virgin. This time, girl saw my penis. Like, you know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Oh, man. Oh. You guys black pilled? Do you want to get black pilled and think about negative thoughts even further than what you want to do now? If you're in America, this is only for you. If you're not in America, lucky fuck. So, the coronavirus is a thing. And back in March or April, Dr. Fauci just said, yeah, we're not going to have any vaccine until like the end of 2020. He said that 4 months ago, possibly 5 at this point. And then now, and then now come to find out that the Project Warp Speed who was mentioning that would have gotten the vaccine out to about the end of this year, December-ish, was referencing the expedition of how like the testing process works, right? Like there's like 3 different phases. I think one phase is done like on a strict like 10 set of people. Next phase on 100 set of people. Next phase on 1,000 set of people. Like, and these sets separately, they're tested for a long enough time period to like garner or wage out what the effects were, and the third, to see what happens. They write notes down. They go for another batch and do the same thing, but with bigger samples. So therefore, they have more examples to pull from. Then the third and do it again. However, in this case, because again, warp speed's a thing, they're just saying fuck it. They're gonna do all 3 of those testing phases borderline at the same time. So what that means is like they're gonna have like very small windows of like gaps between the first group of 10 people and the next group of 100 people. And again, I don't know if you guys watch like any Resident Evil shows, but like only thing I can think of is like, what if the vaccine was the disease? I mean, like it's not nothing that crazy, but like it's just like imagining the fact that there is a chance that due to the expedition of said, holy fuck, I'm just gassed. Due to the expedition of said, vaccine, we're not gonna save anyone quicker than necessary because we're still gonna have to wait and see for the results. I mean, so we're still like, despite us doing warp speed the way we're doing it, we're still gonna have like a massive waiting period, because if we don't, we just rush that shit right now, people are guaranteed gonna die. You know what I mean? Like due to the vaccine, not because of the lack of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like basically what I'm trying to say is like we're not getting through this for, I want to say, the next 2, 3, or even 4 years. This is gonna be your life for quite some time. Again, this is America only. I've seen many people in China, Australia, I think even in Norway, where like they're just living life normally, like how it was like 8 months ago before 2020 existed. God damn it, I want that life back, dude. I really do, because like I had a phase in my life where I was like getting into being a more like outgoing person. I was like, yeah, dude, fuck, let's go, man. I was getting into everything. I mean, I was enjoying life, and then pandemic. Now I can't really blame Corona, because Shouty is a melody in my head, on everything that happened to me. But like it's something that kind of impeded progress, right? I was going to the gym. I started going to the gym regularly. I was starting to communicate with the community regularly, because I'm not that much of a communicator even on stream. I'm struggling to find words in my head right now, but that's how it is when you are this motherfucker. And due to the pandemic, causing me to just isolate even further than I already was, it won't help knowing that we're going to be here for the next like 2-3 years. So it's just very frustrating. I mean, very frustrating. Yeah. So that was the Doomer pill, boys. That was the Doomer pill. That was a black pill. Essentially, what I'm trying to say here is like, in America, next 2-3 years, maybe even 4, gonna be exactly like this. Actually, if you want to be honest here, it may be worse, because here's where we get spooky. If the vaccine does end up getting created by us first, us being a capitalist society, we're gonna want to charge a massive markup for that. Right? The vast majority of people no longer have insurance due to insurance being tied to your job. And since that's the thing, and the vaccine will more likely cost like 2 to 3K if America did have it first, then that means the vast majority of the population who can't afford that vaccine will no longer be able to have it. Also factor in the anti-vaxxers, and that's going to mean a ginormous amount of the population will not be immune to the virus that most of the rich population would have acquired by then. Now, again, this is like the worst case scenario, because if that ends up being the case, and that means, number one, even though we are COVID free with the vaccine, we can still spread the virus, because the vaccine doesn't make us immune from catching it. It just makes us immune from dying from it. That's what a vaccine does. It doesn't like prevent the virus coming into you. It just gives you the antibodies to fight it off. So essentially, like if we have a situation like the richer population is just going back to like middle class and up, going back to, well, who can afford it and up? There you go. That's a more apropos description there. Going back, doing the business, doing the college, doing the classes and the third, just breathing in poor people's faces and like all the waiters and shit. They're gonna die. They're just gonna fucking die. But luckily, I think there's India who is working on getting this out and trying to just mandate the price like $2-3. And now, again, I don't really like the concept of fucking pricing a medication of that vaccine that's kind of became a global pandemic, but that's besides the point, because at the end of the day they're working for the labor, so I can't really extract that out of it. But still, it is kind of rubbed me the wrong way that like we're gonna end up charging for something along the lines of a pandemic that no one could have truly prevented from catching. Not could have preventing from spreading it, obviously that is true. Yes, that is 100% sure. But like everyone's gonna need it if they want to live in society. So like, but I mean, to be honest, if we don't give people like basically like free healthcare or whatever, I don't see why they wouldn't give that vaccine a price tag. Like there's no reason to at this point. You know what I mean, like there's just no point in doing that at all. But yeah, that's the doomer pill. Hope you dry swallow that, because I felt like that it got me going, right? Because thinking about like how things can get worse and they will get worse kind of makes me want to hedge my bets. Kind of makes me want to take more risk than I would normally would have if things were just being normal as is. Because back when I was going to college, on campus as normal, I didn't take that many risks because I was solely focused on trying to graduate as quickly as I possibly could, and then moving on up to the next level and getting my degree, and then moving up to the next level, getting my next degree, move on up to the next level, and then graduating, moving in, getting the family center at the end. That was my whole goal. But now I feel like the graduation thing is still part of the plan, but I'm stepped back by like 4 months now. So I essentially have like 4 extra months of just semester time and I guess free time to truly consider what I really want to do with life. And I want to say this is definitely gonna be part of it. I want to get like at least up to like level 100 or level 100, episode 100. This shit, just me venting, is constantly just thinking about my day and shit. Because like I like hearing myself talk. Like that's the main reason of being extreme rich, like hearing yourself talk. And if I get to 100, because that's always been my favorite number, 100. When I used to make the FNL 47 videos, 100 was my number, because that was the day I'll be like, okay, I made video 100. Should I continue doing this or should I stop? At that point, that was my goal. I mean, I was forced to stop due to my computer crashing, but that's a different story made for a different day. And it's same thing for here. After day 100, what do I want to be like? Do I want to just continue doing this, or do I just want to, pack it up, call it a day, and just never go on internet ever again? Because I'm gonna be honest, internet kind of not fun sometimes. Hot take: the internet is like not that fun, dude. Like it's just not that fun. Internet, more like inner neck. It's like that's all I want to be. Exactly. Boom, roasted. That was funny. In her neck, get it? That was comical. I was supposed to laugh at that. There we go. Whew. I'm working up a sweat. I mean, I know there's a lamp beside me. It's like kind of like burning my, almost said retinas, but they're there to provide the proper shading of my talented face. I mean, like they're a necessary requirement to make me seem appealing to the masses. Now, of course, the masses is a person who isn't other. They assume the person who should be on the opposite side of the screen is, but that's besides the point. You know what I mean? That is besides the issue. Completely different issue that maybe we should address one day, but that's again another issue for another day. Distractions, right? Distractions. I need more. I need more distractions. Because I do the same 10 things every single day. And my brain is starting to go, hey, bro, do some more things. Go outside. Go fish in a helicopter above the Andes, and skydive while you're fishing and forget your parachute and have the hook catch up into your eyeball and have that shit yeet outside of your fucking socket, and then you're gonna have a bleeding, pulsating palm wide open sore in your face hole while you're plummeting down, covering that face while it's just the blood's gushing outside of your skull. It's going all the way out and up above you because blood is lighter than you, and then you splash your death. You know, something like that fun, right? And what I've been doing so far, I've been trying to like spice up what I normally do. Like, for example, when I make my bread, I spice it up by doing it differently, I guess. And when I eat my same meal every day, I spice it up by switching the times I eat them. And when I go outside, I spice it up by walking in a different direction than what I normally would. It's very... And the thing is, too, I don't want to spend any money. So I'm like on a really, really, really shitty situation. Like, because I don't want to spend any money, I can't really like get out of the constant loophole of just the lack of distractions. Because again, my saying is this: money doesn't buy happiness, it buys security. And then everything after that is what we call quote unquote happiness. But the true happiness is security. But the luxury part of, you know, having access to money is what can help you have said distractions. You know what I mean? That's how it works. That's how anything works. You know what I mean? If you distract yourself long enough, you're able to get done what you need to get done. You know what I mean? You're able to not think about what you don't want to think about, pretty much. Man, I'm thinking about like, because I had a class today. It was basically along the lines of like, it was like student government agency, whatever it's called, association. They're presenting themselves. They're talking about like, yeah, you know, yeah, you know, yeah, you know, yeah. I didn't listen to anything they said. Basically, it's along the lines of like, they were trying to recruit people to come to the Student Government Association, and they were also along the lines of trying to make going back on campus sound fun, but in reality, ain't nobody trying to go back on campus, brother. And if they do, goddamn it, you know they're not wearing a mask. If they're willing to go on campus voluntarily to play some fucking video games, some bullshit, right? Like, come on, be honest. If someone is willing to go on campus during these wonderfully gorgeous times to like play some video games or like join a club or something, they're probably not gonna wear a mask. I mean, of course, I'm not saying that's like indicative to not anti-maskers, but if you don't have your priorities straight, then you're not gonna really care whether or not the mask is on your face. I mean, you're gonna go mask off while taking your mask off. You know what I mean? That reminds me of the Karen video. Holy shit. But yeah. Speaking of Karen, I was watching I think it was Bad Bunny stream, and I came to the realization that like Karen is sexist if you truly think about it. Because like, again, this is like with a lot of slurs, context matters. You can say like faggot or retard, but context matters, obviously. I mean, but in most instances, like it just went from the stereotypical, you know, uptight mid 40s to late 50s woman who was very set in her ways, and if things don't go her way, she would yell at the customer service worker. And that's what a Karen originally started to be. Now it's flashed to any woman who's loud and angry, and that's basically a replacement for bitch. And I get the connotation there. I definitely do. And it's kind of hard to insult take here. Kind of hard to relate to women, right? Because actually no, this is a segment. Hold up, do I have to turn this shit on? Let me see. Let me use them real quick. Hold on. I don't know if I have to turn this shit on. Baby. Okay, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna try this segment again, and hopefully lag on me, because if it lags on me, I might end up killing someone. Okay, and it's already lagging. Holy shit. Okay, so someone might end up dead very soon. You look up Florida Man 24. I don't know why. You kind of know why. Okay. So finding out that Karen is sexist and how it's sexist in the context of it in regards to why it is sexist kind of made me realize that, you know, insult take here. Women are hard to relate to. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, right? Because if you truly think about it, five head take, think about it. Despite making up 50% of the population, men make up around 80 to 90% of the violent murders, right? Very abhorrent, very gruesome, very awful, very brutal. And it's at the point where it's just like well, you're not surprised, but at the same time you're shocked because well, I mean, yeah, men are more like unable to process their emotion, but at the same time, like, holy fuck, that's kind of almost double. It's almost like all of it, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Like, even if women committed 20% of the murders and men is 80%, that's still 80 to 20% of the population is borderline even. I mean, there's even more women. I think it's like 51 to 53% women in America in general. That's kind of like insane as concept. So, hello. And also the fact that like heteronormative society, i.e., what we live in right now, is more focused on having the woman be the thing we chase and having the man be the chaser. So as the chasee, it's not really a comfortable situation to find yourself in at all times, now is it? Like you don't want to be in a situation where you're like always being hunted. That's kind of weird, right? It's like I have met outside of my family, but like 20, 30, possibly 40 women I've talked to on a like consistent basis. And I want to say like anecdote Andy, I know, but this is like borderline the online consensus. And also, again, on any Instagram picture and you see a girl marginally attractive and you got Milky Mommy underneath the comments and you kind of can put hand in hand with the next comment I'm about to say here. So of like all those 40 women I've like had not had relationships, but I've talked to in general, like about like half or more than half had really like creepy sexual harassment / assault stories that they can just say verbatim because it's constantly playing in the back of their head because they're completely paranoid because they don't, because that could be another man that just pops up. The next man can be just like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like the power dynamic for, I'd say the majority of women power dynamic is like heavily skewed towards men. Not because all men are stronger than women, but it's because due to the fact that we are unable, not by we as men, are like not as capable, or we don't really put much merit into controlling our emotions, we tend to allow that adrenaline to flow through us, plus the emotion that gives us a temporary boost, and we're able to do things that we shouldn't do if we were, reasonably calm. And because of that, there are multiple women who don't even go outside at night anymore, even in like the most suburban of cities, due to the fact that, rape exists. And amongst other things, even going to, you can't even like take a drink at a party. You can't even put your drink, like, dude, imagine, I think this will blow my mind, the worst, right? Being a dude, right? Imagine being a dude and you live in a world like borderline, it's a homonormative society. Everyone is gay. Gays being normal, and you're the minority for being straight, right? You go to a party, and just you're sipping brews, right? You love drinking, and then next thing you know, you get drugged, and you wake up, and you're in pain because you got raped from a homosexual fella because it's a homonormative society who wants to hunt and prey on men. And in that situation, that's terrifying, right? And that's exactly what women have to go through. Yeah, I'm not calling all gay men rapists, but in that example there, it kind of like flips the script and it makes you like put yourself in a position of a smaller minority power. And it just keeps going on, right? Like another example, look at WAP. Look at WAP. Now, the immediate example, I've seen people go like, how come there's no hard ass dick song? Like there's Big Booty, or not Big Booty, the MC Hammer, I don't like big butts, but I can't not lie, that song. There's like literally every single Trey Songz song in existence. Chris Brown is a thing. The entirety of R&B for like the past 40 years. Nirvana made a song called Rape Me. Basically, isn't like all metal music like extremely explicit? Like in every single avenue you can ever think of. Fucking classical music. I think it was like Beethoven, like some like really, really famous classical musician. They had a scat fetish. and that was the main motivation towards making their music. So like male sexuality has dominated, what I'm trying to say is the majority of the media, and has been looked upon as a normal thing because haha, just boys being boys. He fucked my wife. It's just a joke. Even though saying you fuck someone's wife is being very sexually explicit and expressive, because you have the the attributes that would warrant any woman to attract themselves to you immediately because of how desirable you are, right? That's imbuing and just spewing off the masculinity. 50 Cent, were you guys present at all during the early 2000s? You got 50 Cent, you got Akon, I think you got Trey Songz, fucking shirtless as shit, top off, fuck showing their ribs, and it's just going like being black and just in your face. Like boy bands in the early 2000s too, they were just like baby, I will love you all the rest of your life, like that type of, like that was like getting into like the minds of women, trying to seduce them because they are successful men who can sing and serenade them continuously. What I'm trying to say is that male sexuality has always been a thing that existed within society, that has been normalized because men are the better ones, men are the more powerful ones, men are the ones who are supposed to be at the top because men are stronger, and we don't see that as male sexuality being superior to everything else because it's we've been trained to like it, we've been trained to normalize it. Because think about it, how many how many buff dudes have been appealing to gay men and women in comparison to like the blatant just woman object materialism on a consistent basis? Like that's pretty rare. Like you would remember the amount of time there've been like cases where they're trying to like sexualize men, in the point where they're trying to target everyone else who isn't a heterosexual man, right? Like that, obviously. And so being a woman in general, because you express yourself sexually, you are seen as a slut. You don't express yourself sexually enough, or you don't do it according to society's standards, you're seen as a tight-lipped virgin who doesn't know anything about anything and should probably get laid because you're too uptight. If you you try to speak about your opinion, you're a bitch. If you don't speak anything about your opinion at all, then you're just a quiet, reserved, dainty lady who doesn't deserve anything in life, and maybe you need a good husband to teach you how to speak up. It's you can't truly be yourself as a woman unless you want to fit in a box that society wants you to fit in. You know what I mean? Like it's very mind-boggling. I can't even fathom like living like that, obviously. And even appearance, right? You wake up one day, you gotta look your best, because if you don't, you'll get, are you tired? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Did your boyfriend hit you again? Trust me, I know what that feels like. When I was abused, like it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of off, right? And that's what feminism's for, right? Just to erase all that shit, because like that is kind of cringe. That is kind of cringe. Hating women for being women is kind of cringe. It is. They're regular people, they're normal people, and that should be it. They should be treated as such. And that's my hot take for the day. It is hard to relate to women because they can't exist without literally being scrutinized to this day. And yeah, basically it. All right, see ya. Wowzers. That was a video. That was a very fun video. Very off the cuff. Like that's the type of stuff I've been like thinking of consistently, right? Because like I've been diversifying my content consumption, and I've come to the conclusion that more or less, no matter how you spin it, if you expose yourself to more viewpoints and ideas, you begin to understand where those ideas and viewpoints come from. You know what I mean? Like if you branch out to other people you normally wouldn't listen to because they don't look like you, you begin to understand why they sound the way they do, or why they're upset, or why they're angry all the time. You begin to get that. You begin to understand their rage, their pain, their anger, because they're coming from a completely different point of view that would make yours look laughable. That would make yours look completely privileged and spoiled if they even had to compare any of your stories compared to theirs. I mean, like it's a very eye-opening experience. I suggest, you gotta try something new out. Try watching some brand new shit on the recommended page that you never would have watched because it's weird. Like try watching a trans person. I watch a gay person, like just like that type of shit. Just dabble in the water. If you don't like it, that's fucking fine. Who cares? But it's just like take a chance, take a shot. And you can end up being de-radicalized. You can be a normal person in society. You can function well in society if you just try. So it's like basically like I'm a very picky eater, right? I'm a very picky when it comes to eating. I think it's the same way with content consumption. And I've gotten to the point where like I can only eat like this like 10 or 12 things at a time. And then if I find something new, the one of those things that I used to eat gets pushed out of the rotation and that new thing gets added on the block. And that's how my mind works, just constantly just going back and forth. And I feel like it's the same way with my content too, right? And whenever I try some new food or like something new to watch, I end up experiencing a whole new world where it's essentially like getting these sensations and taste. This is food, this is not content. Dear God, this isn't content. I'm getting these sensations and tastes like I've never really had. Is that kumquat? Cardamom? What is that? Is that garlic pepper? Like it's just very new experiences. And it makes me either appreciate even more what I was doing back in my previous picky days, or it makes you realize how like minuscule and just absolutely abysmal and petty the picky shit I was choosing what actually was. Now this could go in regards to content too, right? You can be watching like Sargon Nakata the rest of your life. Next thing you know, you see like some Sargon Nakata's doo-doo video, and you look and see, oh wait, Sargon Nakata just saying random empty words of bullshit. It doesn't really mean anything he's saying. And then you forget about Sargon, and then your new thing will be anti-Sargon videos, and it's stuff like that, right? That's how like finding new viewpoints, and also having new viewpoints in general, it allows you to again understand where people are coming from. And if you can understand where people are coming from and why they feel the way they do, then you can either attack them strategically and accordingly because you know how they're going to react, or you can just see how we as a society are currently functioning to this day, right? Because you're able to understand how they feel, how they got there, and why they feel like how they got there wasn't entirely their fault. Like you're able to get that. You're able to resonate with that. You're able to see how easy it is to be susceptible to being caught up in everything, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The concept of incels to me always baffle me. It always will. Always. Because I was like 2 microchasms, 2 seconds away from just being full blown incel Father, Lord, Jesus Christ Almighty, Jesus Christ. I feel like mainly because it lines along the fact of, number one, I was just mad. Just mad. Like I was just mad that I wasn't successful enough. Like I think when I was like 17 or 18, Chief Keef had like 2 platinum hits. I was heated. I was fucking pissed. I'm like, yeah, congrats for Chief Keef, but god damn it, what the fuck am I doing in my life, right? Like what am I gonna do? Chief Keef got 2 hits, and I'm sitting over here and getting mad at women for not texting me back. Like I hate society even more. And then when I hated society even more, I try to like, try to watch stuff that would approve my viewpoint and try to make me go like, okay, hating society may not be that bad because society is a piece of shit. And then boom, I found TLDR saying all feminists bad, all women bad, they don't want you to strive on this planet of the earth because they want you down, because all they want to do is oppress you and censor you. It's like, oh yeah, society is bad. Society gives me reason to hate them because society wants to suppress me and hate me. They want to censor me. They want to cut my balls off. They want to murder me like that, right? And I'm riled up. Next thing you know, I'm like almost 2 clicks away from 4chan to become a permanent 4chan member, but then something stopped me. I don't know what it was, but yeah. So like basically getting caught up and being susceptible is the core principle of like the angry gamer. It's like, it's very similar to my situation where your main goals are the opposite of what you are exactly. Like in most cases, the ones I'm talking about specifically, gamers, more likely than not, they're not in shape. Okay, they're not in shape. So if they're not in shape, that means they're not sexually appealing. And sexual appeal is what they strive for the most because that is like the top priority on their list as gamers. I've said multiple times before, but gamer incels, interchangeable, essentially interchangeable. What I'm referring to, right? And because it's so high on the priority, and they can't achieve that because number one, they don't want to, and number two, they kind of want to spend time on the games, and because they spend time on the games, they can't improve. And if they don't improve, then they can't get the sexuality they want. If they can't get the sexuality they want, then where's the rage gonna go? Who's to blame? Where should I let out all this anger? I can't let it out of myself, because if I do, it's depression, right? And so they can't be depressed. Why would they want to be depressed? No, I'm just, incels are depressed too, boys. That wasn't the message I was trying to say. That wasn't it. What's the name though? I guess like instead of bashing them, I guess I should like try to, give some tips to incels, right? Like how I got out of inceldom. I would say first thing first, just clean up your act, right? I mean, if you're a cheapskate like me, you don't want to go to a barber or how do white people say barbers? Like salons, supercuts. I don't fucking know. If you don't want to go spend like $20 for that, then like clean your act up, like shave your face, like shave your hair accordingly, where it's like a neat presenting. It doesn't have to be like the most beautiful thing in the world. You don't have to be like Giga Chad, the guy with like a 12-pack and he like has veins on his fucking eyebrows. Just like look presentable. That's the very first step. Because I've noticed something as a pseudoscientist who knows nothing about scientists or science in general. If you look more presentable, you will garner more confidence in yourself because you're like, oh, that was what was underneath that disgusting piece of shit. It's this beautiful creature in front of the mirror. Now, of course, you're not going to immediately want to feel that, obviously, because again, if you had that much self-confidence, you wouldn't be in an incel situation in the first place. But that is a very good first step. First step, learn how to talk to people, because the best way to getting in a relationship is to network, right? You gotta be like, hey, I'm looking out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hit me up whenever someone you know is single. Kathy, or Kathy was single. Kathy, yo, what's up, Kat? Like, I mean, like, communicate. You gotta learn how to speak. Now, learning how to speak is a very kind of tricky situation to be in. Because to learn how to speak, the best way to do it, it's not on YouTube. You don't buy like some stupid seminar like get rich quick scheme or whatever. I mean, you don't like how to have a threesome in 2 days. No. Learn how to speak. All you got to do, as terrifying as this is, just go out and speak. Just go out there. I mean, this is probably the worst time to try to do that, but hypothetically, in a post-corona world, you go out there, find a person, just like, hey, how you doing? Strike up a small talk conversation, get the vibes, measure the vibes, get that going. It's like, just go away after like a clean 3-5 minutes, cut it clean because they're strangers, they don't want to talk to you that long, and then take notes from what you just learned there. What did you learn from that conversation? Like, okay, I learned that I am very impatient and I can't wait because I'm really nervous. I have to fill in the blank space. So you have to adapt accordingly. So what's the best way to fill in blank space? Feign interest. Have a zinger ready in the background. Or if you're not like a witty comedian like me, just have another like dialogue line in the background, like basically NPC, right? You know how you're talking with an NPC in a game, and I should have fucking recorded this, and they're along the lines of like, hey, whippersnapper, how you doing? And then you have like 3 texts, either like, doing fine, I'm going to kill your family, or where is the crown jewel? Give me like, have that shit ready, like it will help for the speaking aspect. Okay, so you got speaking for number 2. You got presenting yourself well, being presentable, number 1. Now, the presentable thing also can go along the lines of like personality, but that's actually number 3. Developing a personality. So I feel like you can't develop personality because it varies. It's not like one concrete thing. However, I do understand this, right? While you can't like have a concrete like concrete cookie cutter, that's beautiful analogy there. You can't have like a cookie cutter like set example for every single person to follow to have like the ideal personality, because again, things won't work for you what they might work for another person. So I feel like the ideal personality to have is something that allows you to fully just slither along the wide range freedoms that would allow you to do whatever you want. Like, I mean, And besides, you won't know what personality you have until you clash with some other personality that you don't like. Like the best way to find out what personality you truly have is find one that you don't like and contrast where you don't like it, and therefore, boom, that's how you find it out. But that's a really complicated situation that might not be at hand at all times because people aren't as readily available due to the end time being among us. But yes, finding out, developing personality to be somewhat reasonable, somewhat manageable. Now, I think the best way to do it is just like again, listening to people talk and understanding why they talk the way they do. Asking questions like, "Hey, why the fuck did you say that?" But don't be that rude. I'm trying to learn. Like, basically, uninselling yourself is like trying to learn how to become a better person. You have to learn from normies what it feels like to be a normal, non-incel like person. Now, again, you're probably, if you're like deep down in the trenches for incel logic, you're not just gonna be able to sit there and listen to a conversation thoroughly, especially if it's a woman talking, because that's the thing. But you're gonna have to if you want to get better, if you want to get out of that toxic mindset, because whether or not you like it, being a full-blown incel is toxic as shit. You can't stay there. You just can't. Why? No. You can't be like a 40-year-old man incel. You can't be Sargon, even though he has a wife and a kid. You can't do that, brother. That's not a good life to live. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get your whole group together, just throw Reddit gold at you. 4chan, Green Arrow text, whatever, but like, it's not enough. Not a fulfilling life. You know what I mean? Like, there's more than just hate. I mean, hating stuff is fun, but like if that's the only thing you like, the only thing your life is worth living for, like you need to readjust your priorities there. But what was I on? What was I on? I was on something kind of, oh yeah, developing personality. So you're basically learning how to be a normie, and once you learn enough, you're able to use that knowledge you learn from conversing with normies to converse to more normies. And once you're able to continuously keep doing that until you're more comfortable, next thing you know, you're on your way to becoming unincelled. Now, again, no results are guaranteed, no money back because I don't pay you and you don't pay me. So, therefore, these results aren't necessarily required for you to become the unincelled ideal normal person, but they are tips that I use that I apply to my life and have helped me relatively for the most part. Because I still have like very incel traits, right? The incel trait I do have to this day is what I would say is the only positive side of being an incel is that like you're very comfortable in your skin in a manner of like no matter how like disheveled you are or like how like shitty you're feeling, you still feel like you're like okay with it. Like fuck what everyone thinks. I'm gonna have a neck beard and I'm gonna have like frizzly hair. I'm gonna have like the same shirt every day. Stuck with everyone thinks, right? Like, you're comfortable in your skin, but not in the aspect of like where you're comfortable enough to talk to anyone else. No, you're just comfortable in living in your own shit. That's basically the analogy there. I feel like that's good because in some cases you can't get out of shitty situations. So being able to be comfortable in shitty situations after time until you're able to get out of it is a very good trope to have because that's akin to patience more or less, but not necessarily because you're just comfortable with settling for the least available option you have. But again, it could be equivocated to patience, but not necessarily. That was my point there. Holy moly, that incel segment was fire. I'm gonna go ahead and toot my own horn here. I'm gonna jack my. I've been kind of fire for these segments, dude. I'm kind of hitting it off. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, listen, I might be the next Tim. I might be the next Tim Pool, man. I already got the hairline. I just need a beanie. Wait, no, I don't need a beanie. I have a shirt. Yeah, I am. I have the beanie on me. This is the one thing that the constant thing that Tim Pool has is the beanie. I have the shirt. Therefore, I am Tim Pool. And as Tim Pool, I'm gonna use my massive platform to say, do things that I tell you to do. Boom, roasted. I know I said I was gonna make bread, but I gotta take a piss. So I ain't doing that. I'll be right back though. Give me 1 second. I would play music, but okay, we're back. And I'm back. Hope you weren't judging my room, because if you were, I'm going to kill you. Okay, so talk about Clinton, talk about incel, talk about women being bad. I talked about what the fuck else was. Oh, the Republican DNC bullshit. Damn, I really do want to make bread right now. Time. One thing I do want to talk about, I guess, is a work ethic, right? Because my work ethic is utter shit. It is abysmal. I don't understand how I get anything done. If I can procrastinate, I will. Or, in most cases, if I don't procrastinate, I end up doing what I typically end up doing usually, that I am put in a situation where I either have to do stuff immensely early or just at the last minute. Mainly because dealing with it in any time between would require me to think about doing a thing that I don't want to do. And if I have to think about doing something I don't want to do, I'm probably going to think myself out of it because I'm a bit too smart to persuade myself, to tell myself not to do something, or to do something, not do something, to do something. It's just, it's like I've played too many mind games in my brain. Like my brain knows, okay, I know you're gonna play mind games on me, so we're just not gonna do that. We're gonna do whatever the fuck you wanted to do originally because I want to follow your true passions, because happiness and fun is my objective here. It's not to get XYZ done. It's not to get XY money. It's to have fun. And obviously you can't for the most part have fun and make money at all times. I mean, there are jobs where people love because they find their talent. They like, you know what, I'm really good at this, and just run with it. And next thing you know, they're like really tight. They're living in an isolated fucking underground bunker in Iowa. Iowa. Jesus Christ, Iowa. And they're just, you know, reaping in the profits, you know, being underwater basket weavers. They just love it all. They just soak it all up. And I want to be like that. I want to have a situation where I'm able to, you know, just do what I love and love what I do. You know what I mean? You know the whole motto, do what you love, love what you do, like that. And I feel like because my motivation is solely focused on getting to that do what you love and love what you do aspect, that everything in between is just minuscule and irrelevant, even though technically it is literally impossible to get to do what you love what you do situation without doing the irrelevant minuscule stuff in the between, like college, like money, you know what I mean? Like kind of important factors to get to the end goal of, you know, having a family, house, and third. And because I'm hardwired to dopamine rush, it becomes a challenge. So I guess what I found myself doing, like when it comes to like the early ass periods, I found myself in a loop where it's like, okay, if I'm able to do this as early as I possibly can, I can spend the majority of the week doing literally nothing but twiddling my thumbs, and twiddling my thumbs will equal more time to get a dopamine rush. More dopamine rush equals more time for fun. Yay, fun. You know what I mean? I think that's how I look at it. And because that's the case, I'm able to, I guess, compartmentalize the reality of the work I'm doing being boring as shit. I need to do it as early as shit. Because if it's not early, if it's like a day or two early, it's not like early as earlier than fuck. I'm not gonna be that motivated to do it. I mean, but it's like 2-3 days, maybe a week at a time. I'm getting so turned on because of that. It's quite immeasurably insane. Pretty much what I'm saying. I keep playing that Kanad music in my head. It's like like that very sad, just like violin string, just holding off for the longest time, in your emotions, in your veins, in your soul, getting at you live from New York, in that life. Hold up, let me write something down real quick. I gotta go searching for clips in this stupid dumbass stream because I had a lot of segments I can just post for YouTube videos entirely. Now, one thing I do have to mention though, speaking of YouTube, I will have to end up probably fixing my thumbnail. All right, if I truly want to explode the marketplace of ideas on the social media platform. Again, assuming I can get a computer fast enough, or if the software that's downloaded will be capable of handling my new appreciation for art. Ow. Hurt a lot. Like, it's not frostbite, but I got like what's that shit called? Yeah, it's not frostbite. It's when cold something touches your teeth and then your teeth end up hurting because your nerves are very sensitive little baby bitches. Whatever that's called, that's what I got. Really shiny white. Look at that. Look at those shiny white. Currently 12:21 a.m. at 8:25. Another day has passed. We're less insane due to me being able to vent on my electronic diary. Now, there are some downfalls into having this electronic diary. Is the fact that people can dodge between this channel and FNF, and if I wear the shirt ever again on that channel. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a really weird connotation and connection with that aspect. But one thing I will, it smells wonderfully fresh, by the way. Only wear this one a day for about an hour, so it's not that funky. And besides, even if it was, I'd wash it. So fuck off if you think having the same shirt every single stream means I'm a dirty motherfucker. It's not the truth. It's not true at all. Okay, so get off my case for that one, okay, bro? Forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I forgot. So after this month, depending on whether or not I either like it or grow, I might just end multi-streaming and just solely stream on Twitch entirely. Mainly because of the fact that, like, with Streamlabs, cost a membership to do this. Now, of course, I know Restream is a thing, and I probably should look into that separately, but I have enough frivolous spending to dabble into Prime to see if it's worth it or not. And in some aspects, it truly is worth the $20 a month to have access to a link that allows you to basically your own website name for your donation, the ability to have access to multiple panels. There are some things that make this at least a $10 a month value, but it's still overpriced for what it is entirely. And I mean, technically speaking, if you truly wanted to do streaming YouTube, you can do that with another element, i.e. stream elements, but only exclusively streaming YouTube. So that's the thing. Now, of course, streaming YouTube isn't entirely like the best idea in the world, but however, it is a concept if you have a base on that platform, right? It is a thing you want to look forward to doing if you have a platform. I've gotten really meta again when it comes to talking about creation, but I guess like it's like the main thing coming to my mind, like at the back of my mind, like creating stuff, right? When that seep into my venting diarrhea, get it? Because diary's in the venting part of the aspect of the stream. Wouldn't that make sense if the creation part would seep in there? I mean, if it doesn't make sense, then like puppy doesn't know life in general. But I mean, hey, you know, I understand because being lost is a very easy concept to gather, gasp, gather, grasp, and Eve? I don't fucking know. One thing I do know is I got to go back to the Discord. However, the one problem about going back to the Discord is this, right? I took a very, very risky move and called out pedophiles in my chat. I know. A very risque business move, because that was like the vast majority of my population Twitch chat about like a couple days ago, but now they're gone. And they entered the Twitch chat as well. I mean, Discord chat. So it's like I was trying to, just kind of avoid it. But now at this point, I'm like, fuck it. My Discord, I'm like, whatever. I can kick it off if I want to. It is what it is. I mean, I can do what the fuck I want. It is my domain. I shouldn't be scared of my fucking domain. It's the internet. I mean, I gotta hype myself up just to look at some fucking pixels on the screen of like text message. But that's what happens when you when you're raised on the internet, brother. Like you don't have the same level of emotions. Your level of emotions can go from seeing someone literally get murdered, like, oh, that's fine, to having to confront someone being like, oh, this is the worst feeling ever in the world. I'm going to experience a panic attack if I have to talk to that person. Like, it's just, I want to say first world problems, but saying first world is kind of like yikesy. So I want to say like, basically privilege problems, right? Wealthy motherfucker problem. Motherfuckers with stock option problems, right? I did mention I do have lucrative stock options. I do want to get to a point where I'm like, okay, burn a dollar stream. Every time you donate, sub, follow, I will burn $1 in my possession. And then I pull up like a ragtag, hold up. Like a ragtag just group of bills, like burn $1, burn $1 every time you see. That was disgusting. And then the whole stream, I get like a pile of ash because I'm burning money for this brevity and necessarily the best, not necessarily the most original concept to be ever invented to say, but it is a concept that was conceived by a person who had yet to achieve goals. Get it? Because it's me, haha, funny self-deprecation. Laugh at the self-deprecation. Laugh at self-deprecation, please. Validate my invalidation of myself, pretty please. Pretty please. Invalidate me invalidating myself, please. Or I meant validate me invalidating myself. Jesus Christ. I need to go take a short walk off a long bridge, or is it all the way around? Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. It's been an hour and a half. I had fun. An hour and a half is a pretty decent amount of time. For the most part though, I will say this. I happened, despite ranting being the thing I do here, I didn't happen to manage to stay on topic for about like 2 or 3 subjects for the most part. And those 2 or 3 subjects allowed me to, have quite a sense of organization, because I was able to like rant on topics I was able to grasp on, despite going off on tangents here and there at some basic times. And I feel like that is the whole point of this, right? To be able to go on tangents and have the tangents be tangible to the audience, right? Right? Am I crazy for no? All right. I'm out of here then. Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. Really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new here. Hit the follow button if you're brand new here. You know what I mean? Just hit it up. And I got more coming. I'll be back tomorrow. I will thoroughly consume more content tomorrow. And I actually have classes tomorrow as well. So I'll probably just like piggyback off like a class story that's like 2 seconds long and then go on a 10-hour tangent about like life being terrible, like I just did. Yeah.